What's up? It's your girl FrumpyFit. If you don't know who I am, I'm an online weight loss coach who's dedicated to calling out all the BS in the fitness industry and providing you with accurate fitness, nutrition, and weight loss information. Today we're talking about the shockingly wild and dramatic world of transformation photos. Like, I can guarantee if you're, obviously you're watching this right now, but it's gonna be much more shocking and crazy than you think it's gonna be, okay? So strap in, let's get ready to go. Actually, while you're mentally preparing yourself for all the wildness we're about to talk about, I wanted to let you know this video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. And I told you guys in the last video, I was gonna get my hands on cinnamon. Here it is, and I wanna do a live taste test with you guys. So let's do that. So in the first video, I said my favorite flavor was fruity. In the second video, I said my favorite flavor was frosted. So we're gonna see if cinnamon can beat that. Okay, I feel like frosted is still my number one, but like this is so close. Cinnamon is so close to being my number one. It's just as sweet as like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which is crazy because there's no sugar in it. It has a really nice, like strong cinnamon flavor, like more than your typical store-bought like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We also, in our latest variety pack, got our hands on peanut butter, which is another new flavor. I'm not a huge peanut butter fan, but my boyfriend is, so here's his text review of the peanut butter flavor. So our go-to variety pack is peanut butter, cinnamon now, frosted and fruity. So if you guys want to try a variety pack, you can use this code or use the link below and get $5 off your variety pack. So thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this video. So there are two primary reasons why I think that you should not trust transformation photos, and why at the very least you should be just at least cautious when you're looking at them, especially if you're using it to evaluate whether or not you want to purchase a supplement, a product, a program, or anything like that. And so the first one is that they can be very easily manipulated, which I'm going to demonstrate in this video with multiple examples so you can see what I'm talking about. And the second reason is that it just is really capturing two moments in time, and you don't really know what the context is of what's going on there. Even if somebody explains how they did that, there's a lot that I want you to consider that can't be shown and is likely not being talked about when people are posting transformation photos. Okay, so like I said, transformation photos can be very, very manipulated. And how do we manipulate a transformation photo? So lighting, angles, posing, flexing, clothing. Did I already say lighting? And even like how tan you are can all make a very, very dramatic difference in a transformation photo. So let me use myself as an example. I posted this on Instagram, which if you look, I tried to make it like it's obviously very dramatic, right? But this is to show the point. So in the before, you can see that I look miserable, which is characteristic of a before photo a lot of times. The lighting is different, my clothing is different, the pose is different, I'm not flexing. Like, there's a lot that's different between the two photos, and I did that on purpose. Now, not every single transformation is gonna be, I feel like, as obviously manipulated as this one, but you can see in the after photo, I am posing. I went closer to my light source. I turned to the side because I wanted to accentuate my like 11 lines on my abs, which slide lighting does very nicely. I'm wearing high-waisted leggings instead of pulling my shorts down like low-waisted style. I'm smiling. Like, all of these things are greatly impacting the way that this transformation looks. And this was taken like a minute apart from each other, as long as it took me to change clothes, honestly. And what was extra funny about posting this on Instagram is I got tagged in a story immediately after posting this, because I tagged it like transformation photo, like all the relevant hashtags of a transformation photo, and I got this tag. Basically, this person telling me I should submit my transformation to a transformation page because I would likely get lots of followers from my amazing transformation. And so it would have been so easy for me to post this and say, oh, this took 6 months, or, you know, a 5-week challenge, and this is the supplement I took, and like blah, blah, blah. It's very, very easy. And so I see this a lot. So I just wanted to teach you all those factors that influence a transformation photo so you can kind of see it happening, and maybe you can like notice those things when you're looking at other people's transformation. I want to use another example of myself, but compared to somebody else. It was a TikTok that I saw of this girl posting an ab workout for quarantine, and it got so many views. Like, I can't remember how many views this video got. And so I wanted to show how easy it was to get the transformation that she showed in the beginning of her like ab workout transformation transformation with me not doing anything whatsoever. It's another like 2-second transformation change. So I'll put that here. I put it in slow-mo so you can see she's doing all the characteristic stuff, like her lighting had changed, her pose changed, her flexing changed, her, I don't know if I said clothing already, I'm all over the place today. So you can see that I achieved a very similar transformation to what she showed in the video within seconds. Like I had to slow it down in this video because it was so fast. And so I am not saying that her ab program didn't work. I'm not saying that she didn't have a transformation. All I'm saying with the comparison here is that the transformation she showed at the beginning was misleading because it wasn't an accurate comparison. So if you really wanted to compare photos side by side, I can throw some of mine in here. It's the same clothing, the same lighting, the same time of day, the same posing. Like literally you need to make sure every single constant of that transformation, like the before and after pics, are as similar as possible. Because I have my clients send me like progress photos every week when they check in with me. And so these are the things I ask of them so I can actually tell whether or not they're transforming or if it's just a matter of some sort of variable like lighting or posing or clothing. Okay, now let's get into the drama. Okay, so this is Mick Zazen, I can't remember how to pronounce her last name. So she's into body positivity and showing like what normal bodies look like. And she used to be super into fitness. I believe she had a history with disordered eating. And so somebody, this Instagram page, stole her photos and took a photo of her before and after. And so actually what she talked about on her story, because this is a screenshot of her story, the photo on the left, which is supposed to be her after, was actually before when she was struggling with disordered eating. And the photo that they used in this post as the before is really her after, when she had healed her relationship with food. And so she was very upset that they used these photos. And so stealing transformation photos for like sketchy supplement and like marketing scams is very, very common. Like I screenshotted this, but there are so many other examples of this happening on social media, which is why you have to be so skeptical when you see stuff like this. And so another great example, I don't know, probably some of you have heard of this, but I know there are still some people out there who haven't heard of Sarah's Discovery, but this is another like prime example of stealing transformation photos. Stealing transformation photos in order to sell a product or service. And so this was very, very prevalent on Instagram, maybe also on Twitter. I literally can't function on Twitter. I don't know how it works, so I only know about it on Instagram. So there are like hundreds of Instagram pages all titled something like with a handle very similar, like Sarah's Discovery 1, Sarah's Discovery 2. It's just like all over the place. I'm sure that they're buying followers to make them look credible. They're stealing people's transformation photos in order to sell a product. So every single Instagram page will have a link to an article, and it doesn't have it now. We'll pull up the article, but it doesn't have it right now. In the past, when I had looked at this article, there was literally a disclaimer at the bottom that had said like, this isn't really an article, it's like a sales page. And so their sales page was posing as an article. And so let's just actually, I'm gonna scoot over so we can look at this together. So essentially the story is that Sarah is some student from Stanford who like used all her budget for her master's program, and at the very last second she discovered this amazing combination of ingredients that like melts fat, and now she's sharing with you. It's like this whole, so Sarah doesn't exist. She's not really a human being, she's fake. They just like pull all of these people's transformation photos. And so if you look kind of at the very first part of this page, you can see exclusive, and if you notice the date is the same. Like if you go on this post tomorrow or whatever day you're watching this, the date will say whatever date you're looking at it, so it looks like it's like breaking news, but they just update it every single day. And so we're scrolling and it's lots of transformation photos. I can guarantee none of these people tried this product. And what's extra funny, I love this, the likes were definitely fabricated, like photoshopped. So they have liked by Kylie and 4,345,173 others. I don't think so. So then if you scroll all the way through the page, it's just like the whole story that I told you about them, like running out of money and finding this super cheap ingredient mixture that like melts fat, and like her wanting to pay it forward and like save the world. And it's like very dramatic. And of course they're selling this supplement now, which is some sort of like keto whatever supplement. And then when you get to the very, very bottom, it says that you get a free bottle for a limited time. There's only 6 bottles available, and I can guarantee there's gonna be 6 free bottles available tomorrow. And I'm sure it's like you have to put in your credit card information. Like, it's just super sketchy, total scam, like avoid at all costs. But this is like the most well-known for me, like example of this whole transformation photo, like sketchy AF kind of situation. And if you do enough research, you can find articles of people talking about how their transformation photos were stolen for something like this, whether it's Sarah Discovery or something else. And so a lot of these people in these photos that are being used for this like scam of a supplement spent years on their transformation only to have their transformation stolen and used to peddle BS. This concludes kind of the examples of how easy it is to manipulate transformation photos, whether the photo themselves are being manipulated, and not to mention Photoshop and Facetune. Let's not even go there for the sake of this video. So perfect example of being able to very easily manipulate the photos themselves and use the photos of maybe somebody else for something really sketchy in order to sell a product, okay? Now we're gonna jump in to the other half of the equation, which I think is just as important, and that even if the transformation is legitimate, even if the person really did get the transformation the way that they're saying, and they're trying to be honest and upfront about it, there's still a whole other side to the equation, which is you don't truly know every single thing that happened in order to get that transformation. You also don't know what happened after that transformation. So if the transformation happened in the past, maybe that person gained a lot of the weight back. I see this a lot with people who try certain fad diets. They get these amazing results, but then they end up gaining the weight back. So many people who lose weight do it in an unsustainable way and then end up losing all of their results. And so you should never decide to do something just because somebody got results. You shouldn't decide to do something even if you got results. If the super end long-term result was that you lost those results. I feel like I just said results way too many times. So especially if it's somebody who doesn't have a background in fitness and nutrition education or knowledge, then they might be saying, oh, I lost weight by doing X thing, but they don't really understand that at the end of the day, it was a different factor that they just weren't aware of that caused the weight loss. I've talked about this before, but I hope this is making sense. Essentially what I'm saying, I guess, is that the fact that somebody else got a transformation really doesn't matter and shouldn't impact your decision of purchasing a supplement or a program or hiring a coach or anything like that. You need to really take the time to educate yourself about what it's going to take to achieve those results. Analyze whether the thing that this transformation photo is selling or whatever is going to accomplish that. And then the next step is to figure out if it makes sense for you. I've said this so many times, but a calorie deficit is how you lose weight. And there are so many ways to accomplish this. I'll link my calorie deficit playlist where it's all my videos talking about it, so you can get a better idea of how to choose the right thing for you. So even if it is backed by science, even if it does get a lot of people the results they're looking for and it makes sense, you need to take a second and be like, okay, does this make sense for me? And so a perfect example of this is like transformation challenges on social media that a lot of like fitness influencers will make. So like Chloe Ting, she does a lot of videos talking about people's transformations. Paige Hathaway is another one. She has a 5-week challenge and like gives away money to the best transformation. And so again, just like the TikTok girl that we mentioned before, it doesn't mean that that program doesn't work. It doesn't mean that that program is bad. It's just that you need to evaluate whether or not the transformation photos are really showing you a true transformation. Like I said, all the variables should be as consistent as possible. And then it's the second part about analyzing that, okay, does this make sense in terms of the science behind these things? Did this person genuinely get the result that they're presenting in these transformation photos, and does it make sense for me? Because a lot of times what happens, and I've already said this, I know, but a lot of times the person who gets that crazy result doesn't maintain that result. And so if you're not going to maintain the result, what's the point, right? If you've been here a while, if you've seen my content, you know long-term sustainable results is the only thing that matters to me, and I think it should be the only thing that matters to you too. And I didn't even plan to talk about this, but it just popped in my head while we're on the subject and I'm ranting about it. These transformations, these extreme transformations, whether they're manipulated or they're not manipulated, whether they're done by something unsustainable or not, these extreme transformations that people like on social media so much just reinforce this idea of this, like, everybody should be able to get results very quickly, and that's absolutely not the case. So don't let all these transformation photos you see on social media fool you into thinking that this is healthy and normal, because it's in most cases not. And not to mention that there are so many other indicators of progress that have nothing to do with the way that you look. How do you feel? How do you feel in your clothes? Do you feel healthier? Do you have more energy? Are you getting better sleep? Like, there's so many other, like, are you happier? Are you able to enjoy food without being stressed about it? Like, there are so many, like, non-scale or non-aesthetic victories that deserve to be celebrated, even more, in my opinion, than a transformation photo. It's just hard to show those things in a photo or in a space like social media where everything is so visual. So that's the conclusion of the wild, crazy roller coaster ride of transformation photos that I wanted to take you on. Let me know what you were most surprised about in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe here. You can also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.